Hey, Music Therapy Laz here doing part two of today's VEDA. So I'm going to do three VEDAs in one day to make up for yesterday and the day before that I didn't do a VEDA. And totally not musical stuff here. But in a way, you could, consider this something that you could use for a musical studio or music room. So you can make a window shade like this out of fabrics and use it in a way to deaden the sound, at your windows. And so that was partially the reason why I thought this was kind of cool to do. So I'm redoing VEDA number 29 since I started with VEDA number 30 right before this. So part two is going to be makeup VEDA for yesterday. And so what I'm going to show you guys here is the other side of the shade. So this is the back side, and this is the actual fabric. So this is the back side where the bottom of the rings are. See these rings right here? So what I'm going to show you right now is how, and I'll fold this up so you can see it because you can't see it down at the bottom. But that string I was telling you about, this looks like kite string almost or something like that. It's not gonna focus on that. But anyway, it's a little thicker than that. And it's kind of a nylon type of a string. Seems like what I do is I have to string it going from the bottom through each one of these like little loops. See these little loops? So I got to string it. So I'm going from the bottom all the way through each one of these. And you really don't even need to have like a seamstress or someone to sew anything for doing a shade like this. Because what you can do is, like this one, it does have some special like lined little trim on here. What you could do is just fold the fabric and just like iron it, right? And then when you get to the first line of where the loops are, you can iron that too. So you have this fold over, right? And then basically what you do is you put your first set of strings along the bottom at the height that you want. So in between each ring is going to be the fold, right? So you've got one fold, another fold, another fold. So depending on how far apart the rings are, it's going to be how deep your fold is. So we usually do them about 8-9 inches apart, and so that way your folds are about 4 inches, about that much, which looks nice. But you can even do bigger folds. On the shade I'm going to make for the window here, I'm going to do kind of an extra flat, so an extra fold. So it's going to be way more than it needs. It's going to look cool. When it's hanging down, in other words, there's going to be folds. So it's going to be like double ringed. It's hard to explain. But the bottom line is on these, I'm just, pulling a bunch of string out. And I just string on through each one of these little loops, right? Each one of these little rings. And you can buy these rings online, or you can buy them, at whatever kind of craft store, Michael's, or mostly like fabric stores, or like where they have sewing machines and stuff like that. But Joann's, I guess, is a big store that you can buy from. But you can buy them wholesale, like my mom does too, through a wholesale dealer. So I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing here. Try to set this like this. So once I get it to this side here, right, I'm going through each one of these string eye thingies, and I try not to let it tangle up. It's kind of important because you don't want it to tangle. And then this is real simple. It's like a shade pull. And what I'm doing is I'm just sticking it through the hole here, pulling it up out, and then back down. And I have to do this with the weight going the right direction, otherwise little rollers won't get out of the way for me. Hold on. There we go. Now it's coming through. I just pull it through. I want all of them to have roughly the same length here. So the length here, I want them to be roughly the same. So I need to pull a little bit more on this one. That one's, which one is this? Is this the new one, I think? Yeah, so I'm just going to pull that to about the same length, roughly. And then, on this end here, this is kind of a funny video. Not my typical video, right? Totally non-musical. But like I said, you can make a fabric-lined fabric window shade like this. I might do a step-by-step for that one day. If somebody wants a step-by-step of this, tell me, and then I'll do one. I'll just stick it in like a do-it-yourselfer kind of thing. So I cut it already. I did that once, and now I'm going to do the next one. I'll go ahead and start this one like that, right through there. And I use a, I guess it's called a slip knot at the bottom here when I'm done tying, so that it never loosens. So this one right here has a slip knot, so it cannot loosen. The more you pull on this, the more it's going to get tight. And I'll even double it up with one more just normal knot. But those are things I learned in Boy Scouts. Anyway, Hungarian Scouts too. I learned how to do all kinds of knots. They come in handy. And I've never done any serious sailing, but I have done some sailing on a small boat. Probably like a 30-footer or something like that. 30-something, 40-footer, I don't know. I don't know exactly what size boat it was, but it was my mom's cousin's boat. Her husband got into sailing, and the first time I ever sailed was in Hungary on Lake Balaton, which is this absolutely gorgeous lake, roughly in the middle of the country, kind of north. Okay, so I'm just pulling this through again. Bring you guys back up here again. Just pulling it through again, and then I'm going to go ahead, and go right to my mechanism here again. And I'm going to go ahead and go right through that, up and over it. And this is what you use to like pull down on and lock into a particular position that you might want, right? So you can have it half open or all the way open or whatever. Go one more over. To do that, I got to tighten down on that. Oh, I can hear my wife is doing her workout. That's good. She always puts on some Peruvian or whatever, Latin American music, and she just starts dancing around, and she does her own home Zumba, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, come on, buddy, get through there. There you go. Hey, come out. Sometimes helps to. There we go, I got it. All right, so pulling through, there we go. So that's it. So I'm going to string all the rest of these, all right, see how that is. It's going to be up on here like that, and then this is what you pull, and this locks. And when you pull it this way, it loosens. Pull it this way, it locks. See? So that's basically how a shade is made, and it's super simple. Like I said, if you have a colored fabric, you can get some lining fabric like this, and then you put the lining on one side and the colored fabric here. You square it off so that it's squared. You put it on a table and you make sure you have everything squared off to the size that you need. And you just fold these under and iron it down, and then just sew these rings on, and the rings hold everything in place. That simple. Anyway, Music Therapy Laz doing a little do-it-yourself DIY window shade building. Hope to see you guys around on the next one. If you find this super boring, and why don't you do another music video, Laz? I will when I have time, but I got to get some work done because I need to make some money. Anyway, see you guys next time, and Music Therapy Laz out.